What is up, guys? Welcome to today's vlog. I'm leaving the house right now. Gotta run to the post office and drop off a couple eBay items, and then the Outback Joey getting shipped out today. Once I get to the game store, which I'm going to right after, I gotta call the Gift Logic people who made my inventory software and ask them how to deal with trade-in credit. I know how to add items into the inventory, but I don't know how to add trade credit to someone's account. So I gotta figure that out. And then I have to pick up that Super Nintendo bundle sometime after 3 p.m. And so I have to go to the bank before then to get the money. And then I'm just gonna continue working on stuff at the game store, of course. Continue putting price tags on and getting that stuff done. Once all the price tags are on the games, then I can start entering in the other items of the inventory, including the toys, the vinyl, the VHS, the DVDs, the cassette tapes, all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty important. I also got an email today from the merchant people saying, like, welcome to, whatever, here's your account info. So I'm hoping that the terminal comes today. It was supposed to be overnighted, but of course, with the weekend, I didn't expect it to come. So I'm hoping that it's going to come in the mail today, and then maybe tomorrow I can start getting that set up. So, yep, those are my plans for today. Let's just jump into it. I just got to the game store, logged in on my computer here. I'm about to call Gift Logic and figure out how I give people trade-in credit. And I'm assuming that I'm going to have to make them a customer account first, which I think that's pretty obvious. How else would I track it? But I haven't made a customer account yet, so I'm not sure if there's like a setting in there where you can add trade credit or something, because it's not something I've dealt with before. So I'm gonna give them a call and get it figured out, and I'll report back to you guys in a bit. It is already 3:30 p.m. and I have been having some issues with my receipt printer, and it has been extremely frustrating. And this happened before when I first... Why is it doing that? This happened before when I was first trying to get the receipt printer set up. I couldn't get it to connect and all this stuff, and it was a huge pain. I don't know how I figured it out the first time, but I'm just having issues, and it just printed something, but it shouldn't have. Here it goes again. See, these are like test prints that I did like 20 minutes ago, and now it's printing them, and I'm not sure why. I've been spending a lot of time trying to get this figured out. I did call Gift Logic. They're closed now, but when I called earlier, I did figure out how to give people store credit or pay cash for items. But the way that I was thinking that I was going to have to be entering in the inventory after I take a trade-in was wrong. So the guy showed me how to do that properly and everything, and I think I got it down. But now I'm having issues with the receipt printer. Like, I got everything figured out, and those Dreamcast games that I got the other day from my friend Luke, I made an account for him in the system, and I put the Dreamcast games in, and once I finished the sale, it was supposed to print the receipt and the cash drawer was supposed to open, and it didn't happen. It was saying the printer was offline. So I had to disconnect the printer and everything and try to hook it back up, which took forever. It's hooked up now, but like I said, these test prints are coming out extremely delayed. Like, I hit test, and it's supposed to print right away, and it's taking 10 minutes or something. So I got to figure this out. I'm supposed to be meeting up with the guy to get the Super Nintendo collection at 7, and then right after, I'm going to pick up a small GameCube lot from someone out in the same area. So here in a little bit, I actually need to run to the bank to make sure that I have cash to do these deals. And then I'm just going to be here basically until I leave to go do those deals. I'm going to go pick up all that stuff and then head back home and then help get that car to the airport with Abby tonight. So I was really hoping that I would have time today to work on putting the price tags on the rest of the games, but unfortunately it looks like I'm not going to be able to get to that point. If I get this stuff figured out pretty quick, then I might have like an hour or so to mess with that, but the way that it's going right now, I'm not going to have time. So hopefully I can get this stuff figured out. It's nerve-wracking to have issues like this when I'm trying to open in like 2 weeks, but I'm sure I'll get it all figured out. It's just going to take some work and some time. Alright guys, so I went over to the bank and I got cash to do my deals later. I figured out pretty much everything I need to do with the inventory stuff aside from one issue. So it might be really difficult to explain, but I'll try my best. So each item has information in the inventory software. So if I have a copy, or if I look up Super Mario 64, it'll tell me the name, it'll tell me the system, it will tell me the price that I paid for it, it'll tell me the price that I have it priced at, the price I'm selling it for, and it will have the number for the quantity that I have in stock. Now, the issue that I'm running into is when like the ones that I have in there already, let's just say that I got them for free, so I have the buy cost at $0. Now let's say that someone comes into the store and they sell me a copy of Mario 64, and I pay them, just as an example, I pay them $10. Now, I'm not finding a solution to just add quantity to the same listing or the same item in the inventory while having different buy cost. And the simple solution is to just make a new item, because they can have the same name, it's fine. They can't have the same manufacturer's part number or whatever it is, or the database number, but no one ever sees that, so that doesn't really matter. The issue though with having them all be separate items is that instead of being able to type in the game and seeing how much quantity I have, because it'll have one item with 10 quantity or whatever it is, instead it'll have 10 items with a quantity of 1 each, and they're all the same item, but unless I make them separate items like that in the inventory system, I don't see a way to have a different buy cost associated with each individual quantity, basically. So hopefully that makes sense, but unfortunately Gift Logic is in Florida, so they close, they're 3 hours ahead of my time here, so when I wake up, they're 3 hours ahead. So like, for example, they close at 5 p.m., which means they close at 2 p.m. my time. So I only can call them for tech support until 2 p.m. and then they're closed. So I have to do my stuff in the morning or early afternoon, and that kind of sucks because, I was on the phone with them earlier for over an hour and we got a lot of stuff done, but now I'm having other issues and I have to wait until tomorrow now to call them once again. So hopefully it all gets taken care of, but the main thing which I was having an issue with was figuring out how to give people credit and all that. I figured that out, so that's good. They were able to help me with that, and I know what I'm doing with that part now. And like I said, I can solve the issue that I'm having now by just creating multiple listings for the same game, basically, but I want to be able to have it all just listed as quantity under one listing. And so far, I just can't figure out how to enter in different buy costs for the same item. So that's the issue I'm having. Hopefully by tomorrow that'll be solved. Like I said, I already went to the bank, so I got money for the deals later. So I'm not planning on leaving here until I go to do those 2 deals, to pick up the Super Nintendo collection and to pick up that little GameCube lot. So now I have basically free time until then, so I'm going to finish up putting the price tags on the Xbox games and see what else I can do. Just to do like a little test, I also added this Chibi Robo amiibo into the inventory. I got his little price tag printed out and on there. So that is, I put it under the category of a toy, but that is the first toy that I have entered into the spreadsheet. So far, I only have games, and then I had one accessory, but it was a Game Shark for the N64, so it was in with my N64 games. That's why I entered in that. But yeah, that's the first little toy or, other type of item to be entered in, so it's pretty cool. I'm not going to individually enter each one like I did with the Chibi Robo. I just brought up the inventory thing and entered that one specifically, but it's much quicker when I have a lot of quantity to put it into the Excel spreadsheet first and then import it. So once I get to doing like all the rest of the toys, the vinyl, the VHS, all that kind of stuff, I'll be using the spreadsheet for those. And I used the Dreamcast games as my tester thing. So the Dreamcast games are the first ones that I had to make a purchase order for, which obviously, unless you have the software, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. It's all very confusing, and it seems like it's all backwards and it's stupid, but that's how I got to do it. So I did the Dreamcast ones. I figured out what I'm doing. So yeah, basically when someone comes in to trade me something or they come in to sell me something, I have to, so there's two different portions of the software. There's the office side, which is all the bookkeeping, the inventory, entering, stickering, all that kind of stuff. And then the other side is the register software, and that's what you would normally have open when the store's open, so that when someone comes up, you can start a sale, you can take their cash, blah, blah, blah. So I have to, when someone comes in to trade or sell something, I have to go through it twice, basically. Once in the register side, I have to enter in, I don't have to enter in every single item, but I have to enter in a sale with a negative balance, basically, so that, when it's like I'm buying something, not selling it. So when someone comes in to do that, I enter in like the total and everything, and I can either give them that in store credit or in cash, which is pretty cool. And if I do it in store credit, then they have to have a customer account, which I can set up with just a name and a phone number, preferably an email as well, so that I can create an email list and send out promotions and stuff. So I made one for the Dreamcast games, and for Luke, I made an account for him, did that thing with the Dreamcast game. So basically it prints out a receipt, it opens the cash drawer so I can pay them, and then I have to go into the office side and then actually enter the items into the inventory from there. So just doing the little sale on the register side does not add the items to the inventory. And I'm kind of glad that it doesn't, because it would take too long. And if somebody was trading in like an NES with 50 games, they'd be waiting in here for me to enter in all the information for all the games, and it would take way too long. And I don't think the customer would want to wait for that. So yeah, that's it for now, I guess. Lots of rambling about the inventory system, and it's frustrating, it's confusing, but I'm learning it, and it's working so far. So I'm just going to continue working on the inventory here, getting the price tags on, and then, of course, I'm going to film, and when I go to pick up that Super Nintendo bundle, I will definitely show you guys what I get. It's a collection that I'm buying. He has a few other things, but I'm just buying the Super Nintendo stuff. We weren't able to make an agreement on the other stuff, but honestly, the other stuff he has is like some Pokemon Game Boy games and 2 N64 games. So that's it. So I'm just going for the Super Nintendo games. There is some really good stuff in there. I bought that other Super Nintendo collection not too long ago, and there was a lot of good stuff in there as well. A lot of boxed games, which was really cool. I think there are a few complete in box games in the collection I'm getting today as well, but I think most of them are just going to be cartridges, and there's also some doubles as well, like 2 copies of Mario World, 2 copies of Donkey Kong Country, stuff like that, so that's cool. And there's at least one game that is like $200 or above. I think there was some other good titles included, like Super Metroid, stuff like that, but there was at least one fairly rare game, which is going to be really cool to have on opening day. And Double Jump Video Games Super Nintendo selection is going to just be insane, because I already had a decent amount of stuff, but now after buying 2 Super Nintendo collections within like 2 weeks, obviously I'm going to have a ton of Super Nintendo games, so that's going to be really cool. Hope you guys are looking forward to that later today in this video. I'm getting ready to leave the game store to go and do those deals. I finished up getting all the price tags on the original Xbox stuff, and I had a few that I either didn't have tags for or whatever, so I had to add a couple more in that I missed first time around. I also haven't brought all the Xbox games here yet because I still have the ones from the glass case. So I have a bunch of extra labels here for the more expensive ones. There's one for Star Wars Battlefront, Elder Scrolls Morrowind Game of the Year, King of Fighters Neo Wave, Outrun 2, Psychonauts. So some other ones I still have to grab the games for from home. I also need to bring the rest of those glass cases to get the rest of the games here. And then I also need to bring the disc resurfacer pretty soon. I'm thinking that it's going to be set up right here instead of putting another TV. We'll see though. Maybe it could go on the bottom shelf. I'm not sure yet. I also decided that because the games are going to stay in the cases in the glass case, but some of them are not. The DS games, 3DS games, definitely not. PSP games probably won't either. Anything that's like really small like that, and I guess you could argue GameCube is roughly the same size as PSP, but if I can find a solution to take the discs out and store them behind the counter, then I'm going to. But I'm at least going to do it for DS, 3DS, and PSP because those are not going to take up very much room. But yeah, I just wanted to get something figured out because, I mean, someone could pretty easily steal a DS game out of a case. It'd be much harder to take a PS2 game than a DS game, so the fact that I don't have that many anyway makes it pretty easy for me to store them behind the counter because, I mean, they will fit in a shoebox. You know, all the DS, 3DS, and PSP games would fit into one little shoebox. So that's not going to be an issue. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for my time at the game store today because I'm going to do those deals. I'm leaving here in like 10 or 20 minutes, so between 6:10 and 6:20, I'm leaving here, driving out to Beaverton, Hillsboro area, buying the Super Nintendo collection, then going to pick up the GameCube lot, and then after that, I just have to come home and I mean, I guess I could come back here, but I'd only be here for like half an hour or so it's probably not worth it. So I'll just go home after that, and then go to the airport, and just go home after then, and then Abby will take the car and go to work. So I don't feel like I got much done today, simply because I was on the phone for so long, tried to figure out the receipt printer for so long, but I still did a decent amount of stuff. I did get the Xbox games finished as well, which I wanted to do. So at least I got that done. But tomorrow, I'll do a lot more. I'm also meeting someone tomorrow morning to sell another GameCube system. So some people were surprised that I can sell the GameCube systems for $50, which is what I sell them for with cables and one controller. A lot of people were surprised about that, but most of the other game stores in this area sell them for $60, and I just have them posted on the Facebook Marketplace, and I've sold so many of them, and I have a ton, so it's a good thing, you know, I'm not like running out of stock or whatever, but I do think that once I open, GameCube systems might be one of those systems that is just really hard to keep in stock, because I really don't want to charge more than $50, you know. The majority of the price of a GameCube system is in the controller and the cables, honestly. So either way, doing that deal tomorrow morning before I come into here, and I'm just selling the system and an extra controller. From now on, any of the games that are in the inventory system, I can't sell unless I'm going to have the person come here and I'm going to run it through the computer like a regular transaction, like I'm open. And I don't really want to have people coming in here unless I know them. So until we open, of course. So that's probably not going to happen. So I told, this guy was asking for games too, and I told him, you know, hey, I'm opening my store pretty soon. I can't really sell any games until then. So he's like, well, can I at least buy the system and the controller? And I was like, yeah, of course, because those items I haven't entered into the inventory yet. So it doesn't matter if the quantity changes beforehand, you know, it just can't change after I put it in without actually selling something, you know, through the system. So I'm getting ready to leave now, and we're going to go pick up that Super Nintendo collection, and then, of course, I will show you guys, and we'll take a look at it. I'm probably going to have to wait till I get home to go through it, because it's going to be a lot of stuff. I'll probably show you the GameCube bundle when I pick it up, though, because that's not going to be as difficult to show, but I think, once again, there's over 100 Super Nintendo games, so it's, you know, I'll just wait till I get home to show you guys that, but let's get going. Just picked up the Super Nintendo collection, awesome stuff. There's a few boxed games, probably like 6 or 7, and some of them are going to be going into my collection because I don't have them, but some of them I do have, so I should actually have quite a bit of complete in box Super Nintendo stuff for the store, which is going to be really cool, but I'm on my way now to pick up the GameCube bundle. GPS says I'm 23 minutes away, so I'll film that when I get there. Just picked up the GameCube bundle, and I'm kind of pissed off. The stupid lady, I drive all the way out here to Hillsboro, and I meet up with her. She lives in some dumb apartment complex that has like an underground parking thing, so I had to try and find parking on the road here, which, you know, I hate meeting at places like this because it's so hard. I had to park 2 blocks away and walk back, and the doors to the lobby are locked from the outside, so I had to wait for her to come all the way down and let me in. And then she tells me, oh, full disclosure, I had to take the Pokemon game out. And I'm like, she's like, it was damaged. And I said, well, what was wrong with it? And she's like, it was really scratched, but it was also my son's. And I'm like, well, then can we work on the price a little bit? Because that was like one of the main games I wanted. And she's like, no. And so I still bought it because it was still a good deal. There was like some other good games in there, but like, that's bullcrap. I understand if you have to take the game out, that's perfectly fine. But if you're going to do that, then you need to give me a discount, or at least tell me before I drive all the way out here. So I'm kind of pissed off. I'm not in a great mood anyway, because I have so much stuff to do with the game store, and I'm really feeling the pressure, you know? There's 12 days left, 13 days left, something like that. And I'm gonna have to like get my mom to help me put labels on the games tomorrow or something, because there's just no way I'm gonna do it in time by myself. So I was already thinking about that. I was already not in a great mood, and then this lady pulls this crap. So it was a Facebook Marketplace deal, and you can rate your sellers on there. And I want to give her a negative, but I'm worried because on the Facebook Marketplace, sellers can rate the buyers as well. And I'm afraid that if I give her a negative, she's going to give me a negative, which is stupid. It's just so frustrating. Please do not be that person. You know, she's trying to tell me, oh, I've seen the systems alone sell for that, so I was just throwing the games in for free anyway. And it's like, well, I don't care what you thought you were doing. I was paying for the system and the games. I wasn't paying for the system and then getting all these free games, you know what I mean? So the fact that she took it out, didn't tell me beforehand, like tells me in person when I'm already here, and then refuses to work on the price, and I only tried to get her to go down $5. I paid $75 for the bundle. I tried to offer her $70 without the Pokemon game, and it was Gale of Darkness. So, I mean, it's super frustrating. Please do not be that type of person. Alright guys, I'm home now. Just had some dinner with Abby and her mom, and I'm going to go through and show you guys the stuff that I grabbed. So, I'm going to start with the GameCube bundle. So, obviously, I didn't get Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, but the rest of the bundle was still a pretty good deal. So, in no particular order, there's a disc-only Sonic Adventure DX and Blockbuster case, Super Monkey Ball Adventure, Double Dash, Rocky, Sonic Mega Collection. Another disc only Time Splitters 2, and then Shrek 2. Mario Golf, Mario Party 6, World Series of Poker, another disc only Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Gun with a very water damaged back case, Chamber of Secrets, and Nicktoons Unite. And then there's the Platinum System, as well as a Platinum controller. Also got a Platinum Wavebird, which really needs to be cleaned. Cables, Mad Catz controller. And there's the receiver for the Wavebird. There's a third-party memory card, and there's 2 of these controller extension cables. So that was the GameCube bundle. That was $75. Would have been a better deal if I'd gotten the Pokemon game, but she decided to be an idiot. So, moving on to the Super Nintendo collection. I'm going to start with the complete in box games first because there's only 7 of them. 3 of them I'm keeping for my collection. The other 4 are going into the store's inventory. So the ones I'm keeping are Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade's Revenge, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and Lemmings. And the ones that I already have, and you know, if they're condition upgrades, I'll keep them and sell the others. But these ones are basically for the store. There's Tetris 2, We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, The Jungle Book, and Aladdin. I think I have maybe 3 complete in box copies of The Jungle Book now for the store's inventory. I also got a Model 2 Super Nintendo system, and that came with the official power cable and then one of these third-party RF cables, and then 1 controller and a Game Genie. And then I have this big box here filled with games. So these are, of course, going to be in no particular order. Like I said, there's some good stuff in here, so let me try and adjust the camera here. Where can I put it? I'm trying to find a good spot for the camera where you'll be able to see me. Maybe I could put it right here. That looks pretty good to me. Hopefully it doesn't fall. So, in no particular order, we have Gradius 3, Battle Clash, Street Fighter 2, Arcana, NBA Showdown, Jungle Strike, Final Fight, Baseball, Art of Fighting, Home Alone, Paperboy 2, Super Football, Super Scope 6, Tiny Toons Buster Bust Loose, Super Empire Strikes Back, Tetris and Dr. Mario, Super Adventure Island, Jurassic Park The Chaos Continues, and Jurassic Park, Mario's Time Machine, Super R-Type, Tetris Attack, and 2 copies of Mario All-Stars, Mario Paint, Killer Instinct, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Secret of Evermore, Spawn, Arrow the Acrobat, The Ren and Stimpy Show Time Warp, Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse, Moy Mallard and Cold Shadow, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4, Wall of Fire, never heard of this game, Wiz, Tecmo Secret of the Stars, King of the Monsters, Pilot Wings, Daffy Duck, James Bond Jr. We're probably halfway through. Bonkers, Lester the Unlikely, Mega Man X, Out of This World, Another Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse, Star Fox, Super Double Dragon, Separation Anxiety. Here's some good ones. Knights of the Round. And this is the best one in the whole lot. That is Metal Warriors. Pretty rare game. Definitely all authentic here too. No reproductions. Another good one, Sunset Riders. Mario is Missing. Yoshi's Island. Final Fantasy II. Sorry about that glare. Clay Fighter Tournament Edition. Clay Fighter 2, Judgment Clay. Earthworm Jim. Ultima Runes of Virtue 2. Ultima the False Prophet. Kirby Superstar. Contra 3. 2 copies of Secret of Mana. Super Bomberman 2. Battletoads Double Dragon. And Uncharted Waters New Horizons. Pretty good stuff in here. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Super Metroid. 2 copies of Turtles in Time. That one label is super dirty. Super Off-Road, the Baja. Another copy of Star Fox. Mario Kart. And Hyper Zone. Two copies of Donkey Kong Country 2. 2 copies of Donkey Kong Country 1. 2 copies of Mario World. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. Another Super Double Dragon. The Page Master. Toy Story. Kendo Rage, pretty good one. Link to the Past. Operation Thunderbolt. And The Lost Vikings. One more little stack. Another Art of Fighting. Supernova. The Flintstones, The Treasure of Sierra Madrock. That's a pretty good one. Mario RPG. Some of these have like a lot of dust on them. This back label on Mario RPG is like, it's like soaked in something, like the dark part of the label is like not wet, but like it soaked up some moisture at some point or something. The Death and Return of Superman, Mystical Ninja, getting down to the end, Magic Sword, F-Zero, Battle Blaze, I think I have the manual for this, and Kirby's Avalanche. Last little stack here, we have Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition. I've never had a copy of that. Another Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Tom and Jerry with like a cigarette burn on the back. Baseball Simulator 1000. And the last game, we're going out with a bang. Bubsy. So that is the collection that I just bought, guys. And normally when I buy big lots like this, I normally don't like to mention how much I paid, but I know that everyone's going to want to know, and at this point, I don't really care. I paid $1,200 for this entire lot. Obviously, with the Metal Warriors, once I sell that, that brings my cost just down to $1,000. So I think that there is somewhere between $2,000 and $2,200 worth of stuff. So pretty good deal. Lots of stuff for the store, which is good. Buying this Super Nintendo collection, plus the one I bought just a couple weeks ago, gives the store so much Super Nintendo inventory, it's ridiculous, because I already had enough probably to open and be fine, but with these couple hundred games that I've gotten recently, I probably have 400 Super Nintendo games, which that's pretty dang good for a game store's, opening day. Most of the game stores around here don't even have that many total, and they've been open for years. So very, very cool. I'm glad that I was able to pick it up. Got a couple games for my collection, which is always cool. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for today's vlog. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry if it was a little bit of a depressing type video. I'm just really stressed about the store, and that lady being stupid with the GameCube stuff just didn't make it any better. But Abby and I were going to be going to the airport together, but the flight got delayed, so Abby has to go to work, and she's gonna take her mom's car, and I'm going to just go to the airport by myself tonight at like 11 to pick them up. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog here. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to smack the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.